Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. If you're a returning viewer, big welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here for another episode. And we will dive right in with works in progress. No shop update today, but works in progress. And actually, before we get into works in progress, I'll just talk about what I'm wearing because I'm wearing a knit. So this is using, because I actually have some left over. This is an older knit of mine, and it's Alpaca Cloud lace weight in the color Oscar. It's from Knit Picks. Super soft, very reasonably priced if you're looking for getting kind of a segue into alpaca. It's really a great way to do that. And it's the did I tell you it was the Trilo Tee? It's the Trilo Tee. And I think I held this double, or it might have been held single. It was held single. I think it is a lace weight. Yeah, pretty sure it's a lace weight. And it has this really pretty flower lace detailing on the sleeve. And then this is replicated along the bottom of it too. It's a short sleeve, really great. The one thing I noticed, of course, about the alpaca is that under my armpit, because of sweating and everything, because I wore this to Michigan Fiber Festival 2 years ago, I think. And it got all felted underneath the arms. It's not the biggest, it's not the end of the world, but because of sweat, it got felted. It's the truth. It's the truth, guys. It happens. But otherwise, it's really comfortable. The alpaca, of course, makes it relatively warm for a short sleeve shirt, even though it's you can see it's pretty translucent. I do have to wear something under it. I'm not bold enough to wear it with just a bra or bralette. I definitely have like a tank top under it, but it's very comfortable, so definitely recommend it. Here I see my head's being chopped off here. Sorry guys. Hi. I hope you guys are doing well, and let's get into the works in progress. So I do have one little someone's D-stash acquisition that I got. It's kind of cool. So I'll talk about that here shortly at the end before my life update end of things. But we will get into the works in progress. So I worked on two, and one is the one I primarily worked on, which is my test knit. That is Taylor E. Owens. Oh, my brain today. Sorry, guys. I know the name of it. It's The Better Waverly. Oh my goodness. It's been a week, but here we go. Bear with me. Great news. Lots of progress. I have made my way down the entirety of the body, and I have actually just bound off on the bottom. So I did read on a few other test knitters that it does kind of make it look wavy at the bottom. My wonder is that when I block this, it might help even out that bottom a little bit and make it more straight and less rippled like that. It's not the biggest, it's not the end of the world having it rippled like that, but I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. But what I've learned from many, many, many things is that once you block it, it changes it greatly. So this is, again, my colorway, Multifarious Nature colorway in Ember. It's a beautiful, very warm black tonal, and you can see how much that changes. These were from two different dye batches, so my goal is, if you ever do order this as a custom order for a larger quantity, I would definitely try my very best to match it. I usually dye more than what you order, and then I match up as close as possible, because the nature hand dyed, especially with non-superwash, this is Peruvian Highland wool, totally non-superwash, it takes up dye differently. It really sucks in the dye. If it's superwash, it gets saturated, but it does it more, I want to say more evenly. It's a little more gentle when it comes to absorbing the color, where I feel like non-superwash just sucks it up. It's kind of crazy. I feel like I always have to use more dye with it. It's so bizarre. So I haven't done the sleeves yet. Like I said, I just bound off the bottom. The next step is this, actually not the sleeves. I think the next step is the collar. It's the collar and the button band. So basically the button band is what it is. So that is what I will be doing next. So I do need to figure out the buttons that I'm going to be using. And I did have some ideas of a couple that I was thinking of, but I'm still not certain if I want to do them. Some of them are a little bit more decorative, and I really want this to be a staple item. It's black, so I want it to be something I can wear with basically anything and everything. And my fear is if I get too decorative with the buttons, that it won't go with as much, or it'll just, I don't know. I feel like it will be a little, I don't know. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, because it's just, the one I just changed my mind on already, but this one is okay. So like I said, it's a black, but it's a warm black. So this is a button that I have in my vintage button finds, and I'm pretty sure it's plastic, but it has like a metallic finish to it. They are larger. This is larger than the called for buttons. So basically I would make less buttonholes, and I would use less buttons probably, because they're bigger, quite a bit bigger. I think it calls for 17 millimeter, and this is a like 25 millimeter, so it's quite a bit bigger. It's gonna really play on the warmth. It's kind of a coppery color of the like metallic look, and then this is kind of a beige lacquered finish. They're really pretty. They're floral. I just wasn't sure if I wanted that on here, because I like it. I do like it. I think it's fun. It's a unique button. However, I don't want it to look, I don't know. It's not that I have a problem with eclectic. I just don't want it to be too much on that end of things that I can't, basically I don't want a super modern dress, because I have a variety of these. I wear a lot of floral dresses usually, but I do have a few that borderline more like modern print, and I don't want to be wearing a dress that has modern print and then I put this cardigan on that would normally go with it if it just had round basic buttons, but because it has these floral buttons, it kind of makes it clash, if that makes sense. So weird. I don't normally get this involved with my with the aspects of, like, I don't know. I don't normally get this opinionated about things, but I wanted to use those buttons, but the more I think about it, the more I don't. So I definitely am going to keep hunting through my stash. I have quite a few different buttons. I'm guarantee I have something a little more on the black gray end of things, and I think that would be probably more appropriate since I want to wear this with everything. So I really want to make sure it's super versatile. Trying to do more versatile pieces. I really enjoy working with color. I do so much, but I'm trying to be realistic to not have so much abundance of things that I don't wear that often. I want things that I will wear a lot. That will be classic pieces like this beautiful sweater. So I am just loving that sweater. That's that Better Waverly pattern. It's a test knit currently, so hopefully in the near future here it will be going live. I can give you at least the understanding that the test knit's not due until August, so it's going to be a little bit before it's live, but it's very exciting, you guys. If you haven't worked on any of Taylor E. Owen's projects, I highly recommend them. Her Kingston cardigan was a lot of fun. I did that test knit. So if you're looking for kind of a cropped cardigan, it's super easy and it fits beautifully. I love the way it fits. So there you go. And I think it just is versatile for any bust and things like that. So look into that one. Okay, the other project I worked on a bit because I find sometimes I just want to work on something that is hand spun. So I worked on I'm getting there, you guys. I'm so close to finishing. I really am. I'm so close to finishing. It's taking so much willpower not to just finish it. By next week, I feel like this will be finished. Because I'm just way too close to not finish it. So this is The Weekender by Andrea Mowry, using hand-spun Gotland lamb fleece and an alpaca roving that I spun up as well. So I did the contrast because I don't think I have enough to have done this in the same color to do it all solid. I just don't think I had enough based on the weight and everything of the yarn that was required for the project. So I am working down the sleeve. I have a couple, like, seriously, like two more repeats maybe to do, and then the cuff. So I am so stinking close to finishing this, and this is what I have left. So I don't think I would have had enough to do it solid, but I don't know, maybe I would have. I don't think so though. I feel like I'm gonna have very little left of this. So love it, love it, love it. I'm really excited. I did try it on. So I did try on the one sleeve. It's a little snug, but I do think that when it's blocked, it's going to loosen it a little bit. That's the nature of blocking. It tends to do that. So I think it'll loosen it a bit, and then it'll be just really comfortable and cozy. It is so stinking soft, and I love the color, kind of oatmeal-y color. It's got this very natural variegation going on. When I carded it up, I did it by hand for the beginning, and then I think I did a bunch of it with my drum carder. That when it became more consistent, that was done on my drum carder. And I just love it. It spun up really nicely. Gotland has a nice long staple length, so that was excellent. I really like this color. I think it's gonna look so nice, and it's gonna be so warm and cozy when I have this on my lap when I'm working on it. It's just wonderful. So I do think this is gonna be like my sweater out of all the sweaters that I have. I have a couple that I feel like are very sweatshirt-like, but I feel like this is definitely gonna be right up there. It doesn't have a lot of details on it that tend to make me think it's a little more dressy. It's just, this is so versatile. So I am curious when I actually try it on both sleeves, because I didn't try on both sleeves. I am curious how this neck is gonna, if it'll bother me or not, because of the width. I have heard a lot of people say that the width of this kind of shows your bra straps, and that's not really what I'm into. But I usually don't wear sweaters by themselves without having like a little t-shirt under it or something anyway, just because of the layering. It keeps me warmer to have a t-shirt under it. So we'll see. We will see. But either way, if this ends up being too wide, I'll probably still wear it with, obviously, with the t-shirt, but I might, which I think I will definitely make this again. I really liked making it. It's fast. It's really fast. And I would just adjust this. I would probably, I'd probably try to figure out a way to not have as many stitches, if that makes sense. Like, as many stitches. I know you have to obviously get it over your head, so that's kind of important, but I don't think I'd have as many stitches like this that are open. I feel like I'd probably give just a couple more stitches on each shoulder, but we'll see. I haven't tried it on yet since I haven't blocked it yet, but I am so close. Like I said, I mean, I have, I think, one more repeat before the decrease, and then I've got to do the cuff, which is really easy. Nice little ribbing. It's wonderful. So, and with the ribbing and everything, I feel like it's gonna just use up a lot of this. So, but that's when it comes to the full colorway, the main colorway, this is all I have left of it so far. So we will see what ends up being left over, but I want to say it's just a little over 20 grams, maybe around 30 grams. It's a guesstimate. I did not weigh it. But yeah, really, really enjoying this. I can see why this is such a tried and true pattern. I can see why so many people have knit the Weekender. I know she has the Weekender light as well. I don't think I'll make the Weekender light, but I definitely would make another Weekender. Being a larger gauge, this is basically a worsted weight. And this is, I don't know if I mentioned, it's a 3-ply, but I did like chain plying it. And I got so much more consistent because this is my original, which it's in the garter, or not garter stitch. This is the purl side. So it has the thick and thin spots, but it's not terribly, I mean, it's noticeable more towards the bottom, which is my first skein. So you can see how I've progressed from this to this, and then it became a lot more consistent. It still has thick and thin. It's the nature of hand spun, but I'm getting a lot more consistent, which is really cool. It's neat to see that learning process come to life in a sweater. It's all in one. So that's pretty cool. So I've really enjoyed that project. Like I said, I definitely would make another one. I'm not quite sure which fleece I will do the next one in, but yeah, I have a lot of fleeces to choose from, so yeah, no shortage there. So get my sip here. So for those of you that maybe are test knitters, because I do know there's a few of you that are testing that Better Waverly. I know one of you mentioned that you are basically done with it, which is awesome, except for your buttons, I think, which is so cool. Good for you, man. I am a little behind, but to be fair, I haven't solely worked on that. I definitely have kind of cheated by working on other projects, but I'm always kind of that way. I'm not a huge monogamous knitter. I kind of get that way sometimes. Depending on the week. If I'm really stressed out, if I've got a lot going on, I may do a very basic pattern, like my half and half triangles wrap, which I haven't worked on in a bit. That one I really enjoy doing when I'm stressed out because it is just so relaxing and it's so easy to follow the pattern. You learn it super fast and you do not have to keep looking at your pattern. So for traveling as well, it's a great knit for traveling, and it's really good if you need a project for when you're with friends and family, chitty-chatting. You can talk and not really pay attention to your project and you'd be totally fine. So there you go. I did want to talk about this bag that I did get. So as I mentioned, there was there's a young lady that I actually follow on here on Instagram as well, Ruby and Roses, Addison. She was doing a de-stash of a few things, and I normally don't buy a lot of de-stash yarn for the most part. As I mentioned, I am going through my wonderful stash of yarn myself. So, but one of the things she was de-stashing were a few project bags, and there's one that caught my eye. And I'm so glad it didn't get snatched up. I thought for sure someone would have snatched it up because it's super cute. But it's a Hohi & Co. bag. So Hohi Locatelli, not only is she a wonderful designer of so many patterns, one of her patterns that I absolutely love is All of the Lights cardigan. When I say I love it, I absolutely love it. It's beautiful. It's stunning. And I've knit it only once, and I just don't know if I'll ever do it again. I kind of want to, just because I would like one myself. But it took so much to get the first one done. I just don't know if I have it in me to do another one. It was a long knit and really easy to make a mistake, and then yeah, a little maddening to try to fix. But anyway, as I mentioned, the project bag is from Hohi & Co. I'm trying to remember the name of the style of the project bag. It has a really nice little boxed bottom, so it'll stand up when you have your yarn in it. I think it says it's definitely for a 2 skein project. I think you could definitely get 3 skeins in here. That would be fine. So more of a sock project bag or a smaller project, a shawl perhaps could fit in this. I'd say it's like a medium sized bag. It's really, really cute, and it's this beautiful metallic pink. And then there were all these fun little my brain, I tell you what, it's unreal. Pins, there we go. I knew it would come to me. Pins that were on here that she's collected over probably the years and such. There's a lot of cute ones. Slow fashion, I knit past my bedtime, pretty appropriate. Yeah, make wear meant. And then this is one that I had that I added to it that I've had on project bags that kept falling off because the one clasp just would not clasp very well. But it says, "You have bewitched me, body and soul." So that's a quote from Pride and Prejudice. So there you go. It's wonderful. So it's really, really cute, and it just pulls like that. I love that style bag. I found that out of all the bags that I use, this style is my go-to, and so I have picked up, as I mentioned, a couple different project bags that are like that do that pull string, and then they just sit with your project, and then it's open at the top, and it makes it super easy to knit out of, and everything stays in it, and it's wonderful. So I was really excited to find that and be able to snatch that up, because she had another one that was the exact same style, and I don't know if it's called a Cubo, or don't quote me on that, but it was red. It was pretty too, a red metallic, but I loved the pink metallic. I think it's really pretty, and it was fun. It's just fun, and you gotta have fun with your projects. So there you go. So I guess that's my little acquisition. Like I said, not much. And then life update, end of things. I'm trying to think if there's anything really new going on lately that well, I guess the sheep. I could talk about the crazy little sheep. So they are just crazier by the minute. So they are getting more rambunctious. I noticed yesterday when it gets cool in the evening, they sometimes will, these are ewes, so they're all females, but they will headbutt each other. So that was kind of bizarre, but they're Shetlands, and I guess they're notorious for being a little spicy. But two in particular, they will kind of pick on each other, and I feel like one in particular kind of instigates it, and then the other just doesn't let her push her around all the time. So I think it's a bit of a dominance thing, probably, is my guess from what I've been reading. I don't know if that's totally true or not. For those of you that have sheepies, you probably understand this better than I do. But yeah, so they're doing that. Well, last night I put them away in their little hut. It's not huge, but I mean, it's big enough for them, the three of them. But I did notice that the instigator, and that's Amanita, she's a little naughty sometimes, and I did notice that she seemed to be instigating, going after Veiled Lady a little bit, and she was really, like, seemed to be, I don't know, it just seemed a little more aggressive than normal. Normally, it's almost borderline, you think they're kind of just playing, but inside of the hut yesterday, it seemed a little bit more aggressive. She was ramming her then against the wall, and I don't know. But then in the same vein, she kept trying to ram her, and then she would get ready to do it again, and then Lady would move out of the way, and she would, like, kind of run into whatever was behind Lady. So I just don't know. I think they were a dominance thing last night in particular. I think that's what it was. But it's all good. They're fine this morning. Everybody was fine. There wasn't any injuries that I could see, which that was good, because I was a little concerned last night when I was leaving them, because without their knowledge, they have little windows that are in the upper portion of their little hut, and so I can kind of look in over the fence. And I was looking in, and I could see that they were still kind of going at it. And I was a little concerned. I could hear them, too. As I was walking away, I could hear them running into the wall. So I was a little concerned that someone might get hurt. And I was really hoping that would not be the case, and I'm really grateful that it was not the case. Everybody seems okay, and it's just probably the shenanigans that little lambs do when they're trying to get dominance and pecking order established, but it's not the best thing to experience. It's a little nerve-wracking because you don't want them to get hurt and all that. So, but they're more friendly than ever. They're definitely getting more friendly. I find they definitely have their little schedule that they do throughout the day. So in the morning they say good morning, and then they walk away and they go munch, and they kind of make their way through the pasture, and then about midday they'll do their little siesta, and they will do some chewing of their cud, and they'll just kind of lay in the shade or in their hut, and then they go back out onto pasture, and then I want to say evening, early evening, then they will basically get cozy and start chewing on their cud again. And so it's really cute because that's usually when I get home from work, and it's just about this time actually that I'm finishing up this recording, and they will sit with me and allow me to rub on them and love on them, and it's really fun, and it's so sweet. It's actually pretty endearing. Even little Chanterelle, who is the most shy out of all of them, I would say, she has become more comfortable and will come right up to me when I come in, and when I'm like give her some rubs, she'll come, and if I stop, she'll like put her little head against me and basically tell me she wants me to keep giving her head rubs. So it's really sweet, and I enjoyed that. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. Not much else to share at the moment, but it's very overcast at the moment, so sorry about that. It's kind of dark. I went out to lunch and it was gorgeous. I sat in my car and it was 72 degrees, sunny and gorgeous blue skies. And literally the time that I left from work, it was cloudy. And I was so bummed because I was really looking forward to enjoying the sun, but here we are. That is why it's important to take your lunch breaks outside, because then you might actually see the sun. There you go. You're welcome for the reminder. Yeah, but I'd love to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear how you're doing. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are staying healthy and you're happy and you're creating. Yeah, I think that's it for this week. And I look forward to catching up with you soon. Take care. Bye.